Joining me now is our 11 local legal expert, Greg Remmenga, here to talk about uninsured motorist insurance. Yes. Now, why is this so important?
Uninsured motorist insurance is insurance that you buy to protect you in case the person that causes the accident, the one that hits you, doesn't have insurance or doesn't have enough insurance. For example, if a person runs into you, if they have the minimum amount required by Colorado law, they only have $25,000. As you and I know, $25,000 isn't going to cover much medical at all.
Not at all. Now, is this a really big problem in Colorado that we have uninsured motorists?
Well, it's a real big problem because the person that hits you doesn't have to pay for your medical care until a jury says so. So if you're hit, how are you going to pay for the medical care you need? How are you going to get compensation for your lost wages if they don't have insurance at all, or if they don't have enough? For example, we talked about the $25,000. If you have uninsured motorist coverage, that stacks on top of it. So you get that in addition to what the person has. You're very injured, they only have $25,000. You get their $25,000, then you can pursue your own insurance company to get some more money to cover you if you're severely injured. So yes, it's a very significant problem. There's a significant number of people that don't have any insurance, and the majority of people, if they just have the minimum, only have the 25, which you and I have talked about, doesn't cover much at all.
Not nearly enough, clearly, when hospitals are so expensive. Now, how do you know if your insurance covers you or how much it covers you for?
Well, have that discussion with your insurance agent. In Colorado, it's required that you get uninsured motorist unless you sign a waiver that says, I do not want this. So if you haven't signed the waiver, you probably have the coverage. But then the question becomes, how much do you need? How much do you want? And that's really dependent on your lifestyle, what your risks are, how much you can afford. But it typically covers the same amount as your liability. For example, if you have a liability policy that covers you if you hit somebody, $100,000, your uninsured motorist is probably $100,000. But it's right there on your policy information. You'll be able to look at it and say, yes, I have it, and here's how much I have. It's relatively cheap, so make sure you get enough to cover whatever you need.
Good advice. Now, if people want more information, how can they get a hold of you?
My number is 263-4734, or they can contact me over at my office.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate it. Jared's going to go ahead and take a look at our